Good morning, everyone. Today is Sunday, September 22nd, and today we will cover, Defiance and how they did for the week. But first, a couple things. Tomorrow, after work, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 6:30, I am interviewing Sylvia from Defiance, and Jay is also joining. So this is a dual interview, which, it's a first for me. I don't know. I don't think it's a first for them. But it's going to be another community interview. So you'll have your chance to ask questions to not only Jay, but also Sylvia from Defiance. So if you guys can make it, throw your questions starting at 5 p.m. and let's have some fun. So let's get to some of the Defiance funds, though, before we get into the spreadsheet. So this is through the stockanalysis.com. It's a pretty cool website. They have, all this information on different ETFs, and it shows like how big they are. Total assets for Defiance, it shows, 1.25 billion. And then it kind of shows like their largest funds overall. And I'm very surprised on this. So someone should bring this up. Maybe I'll try to if I remember. But MSTX, this is a newer fund, I believe. If I click it, will it tell me? Let's see. MSTX, does it show launch date? Where is it? The inception date? Yeah, August 14th, 2024. So that is super surprising that that's number one, almost 300 million. That just shows you the popularity of MSTR. And then QTUM, that's one of their main funds. And then, of course, QQQY, IWMY, and then JEPY. And then SPYT right behind them. And then outside of that, not much going on, really. We know about USOY, QQQT, and that's pretty much it. But yeah, they're, smaller shop overall. But still, they have, it's impressive to see, newer funds like MSTX that came out in August, like a month ago, and it's heading to number one. So anyway, I just wanted to show you guys some of the funds that they do offer, so you guys can get an idea. So let's get to the spreadsheet. All right, so as you know, for Defiance, I cover it on a weekly basis. Recently, they have made a change to their prospectus, which will make them pay on a weekly basis. So a lot of what I cover, it's going to change. Covering it on a monthly basis, payment schedule, estimates, things like that. That's a little easier on a monthly basis, but you can't really do that weekly. So you can, but you need time. But so a lot of, how I track this is going to change. I mentioned that in the last video. And, I'm waiting to see the new payment schedule. It's not on the website yet. And I did email Sylvia. I haven't heard back. So I guess I'll have to ask her tomorrow because I'm curious to see what their payment schedule is as compared to Roundhill's, their payment schedule. And then, like I said, I'd like to do a side-by-side and actually do their updates together because it would make sense, at least for me. All right, so we're going to cover, obviously, their main funds, QQQY, JEPY. In case you forget, they came out about, 1 year ago, September 13th, September 18th. And then IWMY came out in October, then SPYT March of this year, USOY May of this year, then QQQT June of this year. IWMT is not out yet, so I'm sure that's going to be a question, for her and along with many others. So let's get to, how these funds are doing. So first, QQQY. Let's see how they did from the latest video. I believe the cutoff was, that we were sitting at a month-to-date income of negative 48 cents. So this week, we lost 6 cents. We made 14 cents, lost 2 cents, had a nice day on the 19th, 26-cent gain, nice. And then we made 7 cents. So as of right now, they're negative 9 cents. But earlier in the month, I don't know if you recall, we were down to negative $1.76. So what a freaking comeback, man. You know, it started off, it was not a good month, but it's turning out to be, you know, pretty decent comeback. So you can see like the power of this fund sometimes, you know, is really good. As far as total return though, they are up, and keep in mind this is actually 1 year. Total return in 1 year, this is without drip, is 11.51%. So a lot of people bitch about these funds, but when you get a total return of 11.51% in a year, I mean, do you consider that bad? It depends what type of investor you are, right? You're investing, this is an index, right? This is the NASDAQ. So 11.51% in a year, not too shabby, right? Obviously, you can make more investing in other things, but, you know, it's not, it depends what you're going for. But anyway, let's look at JEPY, S&P 500 version. The last update, we were down 25 cents. So right after that, we made 15 cents, boom. And then we made 13 cents, 7 cents. We had a big day on the 19th as well. We made 25 cents. And then we made a penny. So the 25 cent, that must have been a high implied volatility day. But total return, check, oh, well, first, month-to-date income is positive. They came out from underneath as well. They were down as far as, they lost $1.39 in this same month, and now they're positive 36 cents. So pretty damn good recovery. Total return, again, being out about a year, they are up 12.7%, which is, again, is pretty damn good in my opinion. All right, IWMY. Let's just talk about where their worst position for the month was. They were down at $1.61. And as of since last week, they made 24 cents, 35 cents. 35 cents? Wow, 3 days in a row. That is awesome. Holy crap. And then they lost 26 cents. Damn, that's a shame. But they're positive. They're now up 49 cents, IWMY. Look at their total return. You know, I think we said what? They came out in October, and they're up 14.96%. So, again, pretty good. Let's check out SPYT. For the month, their worst was what, 76 cents. How did they do since last week? They made 3 cents, lost it. They then made 32 cents on that big day, the 19th, and then they lost 5. So they're up 19 cents so far. And they don't need much because they don't, let's take a look at their latest dividend. Their latest dividend was 33 cents. So they could probably make that before the next payment. I don't know. Again, I assume they're going to do one more monthly payment and then switch to weekly. I don't know yet. But the payment schedule hopefully will be displayed very soon. Total return on SPYT, pretty damn good, 9.3%. So I'm not going over recovery rates, obviously, because it's a little, well, SPYT is actually close. They recovered 58% from the last. IWMY 13%, JEPY 12%. So yeah, obviously, you know, they came from way behind, so it's not unlikely they're going to recover the total of the latest distribution. All right, so here's USOY. USOY, again, they all had a rough month. They were down as far as $1.05. So as of last week, they made 6 cents, then they made 18, then they lost 10, then they made 22 cents, and then 8 cents. So currently they're at negative 5 cents. Total return, they're in the negative 2.81%. So unfortunately not performing fantastic. It depends when you bought it, of course. If you bought it at a lower spot, you could be up. But I'm just reflecting from inception, the total return. QQQT, again, this fund is another really good fund, but they just launched at a bad time. This month, they were down as much as $1.08. And then since the latest update, they lost 8 cents. Then they lost 5. And the 19th, they made 46 cents. And then they lost 4 cents. So this puts them at a positive 20 cents for the month. How much did they pay the prior month? They paid about 31 cents. So they actually recovered 62% of that. So not too bad. Total return, like I said, they launched at a bad time, so they're down 0.77%. Okay, so the summary is, again, this summary tab, which is one of my favorite tabs, is gonna probably go away once they go to weekly, because this is, this is not manageable on a weekly basis. But for now, I'll track it, maybe one more time, or at least maybe on the next payment, it'll be my last one. I don't know. But basically what this shows is how much it made in premium income per month and how much it paid. So for the most part, the bottom line is so far, as of the last payment, QQQY made 704, JEPY 726, IWMY 857, SPYT $1.67, and then USOY and QQQT, they're in the negative. So, and then obviously I show how much, if, based on how much they make versus how much they pay, how much do you really need to reinvest, to keep your fund afloat, to keep your, essentially your yield on cost around the same, place. SPYT, not much, 16%, because it's a good fund, right? It depends when you bought it in, of course. Like if you bought it in, even cheaper, then it should be 0. QQQY, JEPY, IWMY, also, it depends when you bought in. But, around 70% is like the number you're looking at. So, but yeah, that's probably going to go away, unfortunately. But like I said, I think I'm hoping they have the same exact payment schedule as Roundhill. Because if they do, oh man, perfect comparison. They could work like a charm together, actually, right? 0 DTE selling calls, 0 DTE selling puts on the indexes, the same indexes. I mean, I'm going to buy both. And also, I don't know, most of you know this, but they're going less aggressive. Defiance is changing their daily goal from 0.25% to 0.15%. So I think that's much, much more attainable. Of course, you may not see as high of yields that you're used to, but again, good change overall, I think. All right, so how is the fund doing? Is it still growing? I did update the outstanding shares, current week outstanding shares from the last week. And I only saw 2 changes. Maybe the website didn't get updated, but QQQY had a decrease of 75,000 and JEPY had a decrease of 50,000 outstanding shares. So everything else shows to be unchanged. Again, I'm not sure how current, how up to date the website is, but typically there is some change that you would see, but not today. But again, I don't know. We saw all of their funds for Defiance and how they're doing. But yeah, QQQY still in the lead outside of MSTX, who, came on the scene and poof, it was a need, man. It was a need to have they tried to get double, but they got like 1.75x, leverage fund of MSTR. So, we'll ask her about that fund, on Monday or tomorrow. All right, guys. So that's the update on Defiance. Let me know what you guys think. We're kind of like in a switchover. So this is, these updates are, kind of just waiting. We're just waiting for this weekly change, weekly payouts. How's it going to work? What's it going to look like? But, as soon as they announce it, I'll talk about it on the next Sunday video or earlier if needed. Again, if it's a same payment schedule as Roundhill, Defiance and Roundhill will be a combined update. And the reason is I think it'll be perfect to compare, starting that date, whatever week they start. I'm going to start comparing the two to see how they perform. And I'm probably going to invest in both equally. And it'll be part of actually my dividend car portfolio. So I'm excited. But as always, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. This video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you're entertained. If not, we will try again next week. If you guys have any further updates than what I have on this, please feel free to share. That's all I know. And obviously we'll get more information tomorrow on the interview. So I hope to see you all there at 5 p.m. Please don't ask questions prior to 5 p.m. because I'm not going to pull them up. I typically start pulling any questions up starting at 5 p.m. Okay? And then obviously I did try to ask, I did reserve 90 minutes because it's 2 people. I don't know how it's going to go. But we'll see, man. We'll see. Every day's a new learning experience, but I think it'll be fun. So I hope you all can make it. What else? If you enjoy this content, please hit the like button. If you have any questions, concerns, leave them in the comments below. Keyword, yes, it's a keyword because this is a morning video. There's always a freaking keyword, right? So keyword for today, what do we got? I don't know, man. Should we do freaking weeklies? Because it's going to be freaking weeklies for Defiance as well. So I don't know. Do we enjoy weeklies? I mean, for these funds, abso-freaking-lutely, because they trade daily, it makes sense for them to pay weekly. If you sell puts daily, or 0 DTE or 1 DTE, whatever, then you are able to pay weekly. If you trade weekly, then you pay monthly. Anyway, so today's keyword, if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, all you have to do is type freaking weekly. This was definitely a keyword previously, but oh well. Not for Defiance. So today's keyword is freaking weekly. All right, guys, I just want to say thank you for watching, and I will talk to you on next week's update. Later.